The cold winter weather is coming, and the team at Peerless Boilers, they're ready to help you prepare for this season. It's time to make sure your home is nice and warm for the cold weather. Save loads of money on your fuel bill. Do it now before it's too late and you've got a mess on your hands. Start thinking about replacing your old beast of a boiler with a new high-efficiency Peerless Boiler. Go to peerlessboilers.com, pop in your zip code, and you'll find a dealer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and proud sponsor of Sid and Friends in the Morning, live from Israel.
Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman invites you to mark 1 year since Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th. Join us as we come together this Monday, October 7th at 6 p.m. at the Harry Chapin Lakeside Theater in Eisenhower Park. Let's stand together in solidarity with Israel and those held hostage Monday, October 7th, 6 p.m. at Eisenhower Park. For more information, visit NassauCountyNY.gov.
A lot of great folks with One Israel Fund. Scott Beltman, the group that sent us here now the last 2 times. I've got lifetime trips now. That's it. I'm in. But a lot of great guys. Gabe Boxer, he'll join us next hour. And Eve Harrow, terrific. She was on Monday. Josh Fleischer. A whole group of guys. But this guy sitting next to me is one of the all-time greats. He's Marc Provisor. He's been on this show before. From Israel last January, and even from our studios in New York City. He's in charge of security for the whole thing. He walks around with guns, and he's an artist. He's got a long piece of hair coming from the back of his head. I can't explain it. And he looks like a guy that, honestly, is going to see the Grateful Dead later tonight. He's a handsome guy. But he will kill you in 2 seconds. But he doesn't talk about that now because he's like Scott LeBedo. He's an artist. And, in fact, just yesterday, which isn't new for me these days, but he drove me to tears because he's got these amazing paintings. He's got a bird's eye view, folks. He's up there by Lebanon with the fighting. He sees it. So he's got these amazing paintings from the war. Everything from Lebanon now to the early days of Gaza. And he's got this one painting that is so intense. It's just red, man. It's red. Blood that depicts, there's a young girl, I think, in the painting, going all the way back to that day, October the 7th, and he gave this painting to me yesterday, and it did drive me to tears. It's a beautiful piece of art. It's an important piece of art. So let me start right about by saying, Marc Provisor, thank you so much.
No, it's a true pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you. You really are a great. Lebedo's great too. You got a chance to speak to Lebedo.
Yeah.
So did you know his work before?
No, not before we met. Before when I dropped by when I did the show, and you were talking to him, and I was discussing about how being an Israeli artist and with my background made me taboo in the art world. And it just by chance he was on the show. I sent him a WhatsApp. I hope to meet him one day. I think he's incredible.
You're both incredible. You're both fighters. Different. You know, he's a guy that will paint flags every state around the country, and you carry a long gun. But I say that joking, but not really joking, in that you have been doing these things for a long time.
Yeah.
I know you just said to me, October 7th,
yeah.
You wanted to go in there and really inflict some damage on Hamas, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was. Look, I don't. Most people, you know, they read about it, but they can't conceive it. And I'm number one. You know, my son was there, and thank God escaped. And when I started getting the reports, look, honestly, it was hard for me to believe the reports. Such atrocities. I mean, you think that the world's over. I mean, we're not in the Congo where this stuff goes on all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so I obviously went down and caught in a lot of issues, and you see it, and there is a rage that comes up that, you know, you're looking at. I won't call Hamas animals because I don't want to insult the animals.
Yeah, people do say that,
and you just see something and
you can't believe it.
Wow, the rage that it's something, and I admit it, and it's not just me. I mean, we have a country that we see something like that committed against us, and we want to react.
Let me go back to your son for a second, because this was one of the most emotional and great moments of this trip. It really was. Yeah. We're at the graveyard of cars on Monday, my first day on the air. That was the bomb shelter day. Yeah. And we're in Sderot that day. But before we went down to these areas, and the graveyard for cars are all these cars that Hamas fired RPGs at, killing young kids in the cars. and these cars are piled and piled and piled, burnt to a crisp. It's hard to even look at. And they were all coming from the Nova Music Festival. And your son was there.
Yeah.
He escaped, thank God, but never came back until Monday when you guys embraced each other. You both started to cry. I started to cry. What an emotional moment.
So I hadn't gone down to the site either for a year.
Oh, you hadn't?
No. We have been working down south. In fact, within a day and a half, we were not just with that son, but my other son, my two princes.
Yeah.
We went down to do the stuff that we had to do. And even on the other times that he didn't stop by the site, I didn't. It was hard. And I didn't expect it to be like that was.
Yeah.
It all
came out.
It all came out.
Both
right
of you
then.
guys.
And
Both of you guys, yeah.
And I wrote to my family where it's such a horrible day, but it was a day. I have to look at the gratitude in the day. I got my boy.
Yeah.
You know.
And what a great kid, handsome kid,
He's
and
the
brave
best.
kid. And he really is a beautiful boy. I got a son too, but he's a great kid. So I was happy to see that on Monday. So you've been to the north a lot lately.
Yeah.
I think you were in a house or something that was hit by a missile.
Yeah.
But you were also, I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think you did a painting in the woods, in the forest, literally a couple of feet away from the Hezbollah base.
A couple of feet, a little more than that, but it sounds strange. Scott will get this. Scott will
Lebedo will,
he'll definitely get that. There's a feeling, an adrenaline, I guess, that when you're painting, when you're in that zone, it's a real special feeling. I don't know the words to describe it. For those that paint, that are really involved in art, they know what I'm talking about. Now, on the other side of that, when you're involved in stuff like that, in the violence, terrorism, war, or whatever, there's also an adrenaline. And anyone who's been in combat will tell you there's a rush.
There's a rush.
There's a real rush.
Yeah.
So I wanted to combine those rushes. Right?
Sure. It's kind of like when rock and roll guys wrap a belt around their neck to get a better orgasm. Kind of the same thing, right? Close.
I haven't tried it yet, but hey, look, I'll take your word for it. What can I tell you? You know,
that's how the government accessed that. But no, it's true, because now you're getting like double rush.
So it's a double rush, and it was putting together those two worlds. And so I was up on the border, a particular area where the reason I went up there was actually to assess an issue with some of the strategies and solutions that I work with. And I said, look, I told the security guys, I got to paint here. Now, I took acrylic paint because I knew I had to do it fast.
Yeah.
Because we were right across from, Hezbollah, they could look in if we were hiding under some trees, but whatever.
But then they see you and start shooting at you?
So, yeah. So I took it out, my French easel, and I'm like just knocking it off with acrylics as quick as I can. And all of a sudden, like one of the faces right near us, they start getting hit. And the security guy is saying, we got to get out of here. I said, no, man, I got to finish this.
And you finished
I threw on my helmet. I threw on my vest. I was instead in one of the places where I hold my magazines. So I put my paintbrushes, finished it, and we got out.
That is unbelievable.
Crazy.
Now, will you sell that piece or keep that forever?
I don't know. I probably will, but I'm not ready to sell it. There was the other piece that you saw that when the place got hit with a rocket right before, and I showed you
right through the window.
Yeah,
and the string is on it.
Yeah. The wire guided thing was on it, and I wanted to stay there and paint. And the security guy says, "Listen," and he says, "I've heard about you." He said, "But this is beyond." He said, we can't lose you.
Yeah.
Take your picture. So I did that back in the studio.
We can't lose you on a serious note, because while you're enjoying the picnic, you do still serve a very important role. Strategies, how to win the war.
Well,
right?
I like, my thing is I don't like people getting killed. That's my thing. I mean, when we talk about win, law, I don't even deal. I don't want people to get hurt. I mean, people look at me and say, "Oh, he's got the gun and all this." I'm a peace guy.
You are.
I really am.
No,
I don't
know.
like anybody to get hurt.
Right.
And I use those solutions, and some of them are pretty artistic solutions, to figure out things to keep people from getting hurt. All people.
All people.
All people. You know.
Arabs too? Palestinians?
Let me tell you something.
Because you were pretty pissed.
Yeah, I get pissed off at terrorists, and terrorists are not people in my mind. First of all, so I really don't.
But you don't believe that the Palestinians, as a majority, as a group, are good people. I know you don't, because I don't.
Hey, look, I think they're good people everywhere. I'm not going to say the entire group.
Yeah, but I'm talking about minorities or majorities.
So they have a really big problem. And this is something that really pisses me off, because the progressive world, if you will, and these people are not progressive. They're not liberals. They're a bunch of basically,
right.
And they think they know something, and they don't, because they're sitting in, they're
Staten Island.
Well, hey, no offense, Scott. Staten Island's cool.
Not him. I wasn't talking about Scott. Right.
But they're they're sitting there having their latte in the morning, thinking that they know something as they're going off to Columbia, and they think that these kids know something, and there are not enough four-letter words for me to express my feelings towards them.
And I got to tell you, I've only been here twice. You've lived here, okay?
Yeah.
And I am so much smarter, much more aware because I've been here, that I can, if I really wanted to argue with everybody about all those theories, I'd kill them. You got to come here.
So
you got to see it.
Yeah, but look, first of all, you say you got to see it. That's an important statement, because a lot of these people, where their eyes may be open, they don't see anything. And they won't see anything. They're so blinded for hate. Now, we were talking about in the Palestinian society. If you come out for peace, you're putting yourself in danger. And this is a problem. And there is an issue. I know of a lot of Palestinians, and I've met a lot. I mean, I've had my life saved by Palestinians.
Wow.
More than once.
Wow.
More than once.
Okay.
When I was in my role as a security guy. But I know their problems. I know that they cannot come out. And these people have been hijacked by the Hamas, by the PLO.
Okay, so then...
No, but all these progressive and liberals and whatever, do they give a about that? No.
No, but they're saying what you're saying, though. They're saying that they're not bad people, that they don't have a choice, that Hamas will kill them.
No, they become bad people.
Yeah, but, listen, I see the videos on October 7th, okay? Nobody was holding guns to these people's heads when they were spitting on hostages, dancing in the streets.
They're scum, man. They're scum.
Okay, well.
I mean, I look, my base feeling, and I really don't, I'm over 60. I don't give a what I say anymore. But it's like when I see that stuff in happening, those celebrations, and wherever they are, I say target-rich, area.
Right.
Like, just fry them.
Fry 'em.
Because these people are not doing any good for humanity. They're not doing any good for humanity.
They're not good. They're not good people to live with. Every time you take me on a tour, even when we go through Judea and Samaria, you point to, that's Jericho, they want to kill us. That's Ramallah, they want to kill us. All these Arab neighborhoods, they want to kill you.
Yep. And
is that not true?
So again, the majority, I think, they don't want us here, and I know how there is a strong amount of them that say we need Israel here. These guys. There's a lot of guys, they want to live, they want to raise their kids, they want to take vacations, and they know that Israel is the key. Not that their leaders, the PLO or Hamas, stealing billions of dollars of U.S. tax dollars, refunding terrorism and so on, and just destroying whatever's around them. Yeah. In fact, I think I might have showed you this yesterday. We were talking about here, countries that ban public support for Hamas. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Jordan, Oman, Kuwait, Bahrain.
What about U.S.?
Oh, wait. Now, places pro-Hamas occur daily. The USA, the U.K., the EU. Now, go explain that to me. And explain that to these scumbag students walking around Union Square and walking up all this pro-Hamas, pro-Hezbollah, which is against U.S. law.
Right. It's illegal.
No,
it's illegal.
It's illegal.
Right.
So go explain that to these scumbags over there. Like, what the hell? And even more, then I'll let you talk, but it's like, you ask these people, you say, are you for this rights and women's rights and gay rights and moth rights and any rights, and they all agree to everything. Then you ask them, you say, how is it that you support a society that is diametrically opposed to everything you hold dear?
That's right.
So it obviously, Corona went a lot for it. It developed into the thing that I call flu. And these people, there's no vaccine for it.
Listen, I got 60 seconds here. Brilliant. I can't even get to the UNRWA up for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've got an art studio in New York.
In New York,
you're one of us. So you saw me in my studio last month in Soho.
Yeah.
And so, Scott's on the island. You're in New York City. And you texted me last week. You go, Sid, what is going on with our city?
Yeah.
You even said to me a couple of days ago on the van that you're considering maybe leaving New York for good. It's gotten that bad, right?
Yeah, well, look, the energy around there, you walk around and like people have lost their minds. Bad is good is bad, and you really begin to feel it. I mean, obviously the art world is the art world. It always will be. But bad vibes, and I'm actually considering moving it out there.
Wow. Wow.
And we'll see.
You've been there a long time, right?
No, really, only a year. I was supposed to start, but the war started and it put everything on delay.
Right,
but
right.
I'll be going back in November.
Okay.
You know, you're invited to come and visit, see some more stuff.
You come see me too.
Oh, absolutely.
I love seeing you here.
I'll go to Scott's studio, but I want him to come to mine.
Definitely do that. Sure. We'll do the whole thing.
I know that he and I are going to get along.
You're coming after the election, though, obviously.
Oh, yeah. That's
good.
going to be, it'll be
Good,
interesting.
Good. You become a dear friend. You're a great guy. You really are. Thank you for the piece of art. Thank you for protecting us when we come to Israel.
Teamwork, baby.
Thank you for your friendship. Thank you.
The Auschwitz Jewish Center Foundation is a not-for-profit organization whose mission is to utilize lessons from the Holocaust to fight hatred and bigotry in all forms through educational programs and provide direct humanitarian assistance to victims of mass atrocities and genocide. Your support helps ensure AJCF's vital work to fight anti-Semitism and all forms of hatred through education. They use the lessons of the Holocaust to honor the past and transform the future for generations to come. For all the details and to support the Auschwitz Jewish Center Foundation, visit ajcfus.org. That's ajcfus.org.